Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, what's going on here? Oh, this is a Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Alien vs. Predator Requiem Wolf Predator review. That explains it. Alright, that's better. If you guys ever seen the Alien vs. Predator Requiem movie, you pretty much understand the beginning of this video. Pretty funny. So we have the 1/18 scale Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Alien vs. Predator Wolf Predator. This is more likely the last of the Predator series that I will probably be picking up because they haven't released any new information for anything new, but who knows in the future. There's a couple ones I really hope they'd have made just to finish off my collection, but as of now, there's no news or anything about that, so I'll hold out and see what happens in the future. But here we go. Here's the packaging. Window box. These are for dog collectors. Recommended for ages 15 and above. These are very fragile figures. They're small parts, so don't give them to your little collectors under age of 3. Down at the bottom we have the artwork, the name and everything, the Hiya Toys logo, all that good stuff. There's the top of the box. Okay, and here's the side of the box. Here's the side of the box that way because it has like a two-way facing. Same for the other side. It's pretty much the same. Wish this was all in dark, right? So on the back here we do have a couple things to look at. We have the nameplate at the top, Exquisite Mini. If you don't know what that is, it's a standard setting series for 1/18 scale. Features super articulation action figures on the Hot Toys. No. Not to discredit the figure, but they're far from that statement in this collector's opinion. Social media, if you want to follow them, they're a pretty cool company, but nonetheless, Hiya Toys information. UPC, which don't mean nothing unless you find these in a store, which I don't know anywhere in the US at least have a store to offer these figures. In the bottom of the packaging, I think we looked at that, right? Okay, let's take a look at the Predator inside the clamshell. And here he is inside the clamshell with all of his accessories, mostly sitting in its place with the figure. And it's kind of ironic that the backdrop is kind of that really dark, like if you're watching the movie kind of feature. So thumbs up on that Hiya Toys for the packaging reference. So just to note that this is a straight up unboxing and review. What that means is that I'm not going to do any pre-inspections and heat anything. I do inform everybody of that beforehand because it's part of my review. So we may be able to take a look at the articulation. We may not, depending on the stiffness of the joints. So this is how you're going to get it if you buy one of these. So just so you know. Okay, here he is, straight outside the packaging. Arm sticking straight out and everything too. So that was actually very anticipated for this figure because it's a Wolf Predator. That sounds cool just to begin with. And kind of knew this was going to wrap up my collection for now, for the most part. So let's take a look at him. He looks pretty cool. So I'm seeing this for the first time as you are, besides the packaging. Got a metal helmet. His dome here. Some nice sculpt work. It's very shiny. It has some black wash over it, so it's not too bad. His eyes are more of a silver, so it's almost like a clash between the eyes and the mask. The front face is kind of like the original Predator from the 80s. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but the top has those creases cut into it. He has his black dreads. This is very cool for these figures because that's individual hairs, so that's pretty nice. Underneath his neck here, he has some little skulls. You guys can see that, hopefully. Some light in there. Right inside there. Pretty nice. He's what we call maybe like a bandolier across his chest. It's like 2-piece strapped. It's pretty good. He is having a dual-wield shoulder plasma cannons. We got one there. There's some silver, or no, I'm sorry, yeah, silver with the got a heavy wash over it, but then it has the really dulled down, close to gold or copper coloring features throughout, right there and on the body of the gun. So it does have the dual wield. You can see the gold beads in his hair, and it's kind of just going everywhere because there's individual strands. Here we have the piece on this back. There's a lot going on this figure. Piece on his back. This is very large. I do not know what these are called, so I do apologize for that. A lot of details. This is like a gunmetal with some like little dry brushing of black on. And there's a lot of sculpting going on there for the 1/18 scale figure. You can see there's like a panel there underneath there. It's very small. Then we have a strap piece that comes around this side. That's part of that bend, double bandolier on the front. It's kind of like a single. I wonder what that caps off at. Yeah, I think there's two right there. You can see that. And it has these devices on it. Some kind of device there, the blue in a little pouch. But then it turns into the two from there into the single on the back. Other gauntlets are pretty much what we're used to seeing. The dual blade that's retractable in and out. Pretty nice. The other gauntlet we have here, some nice sculpting, pretty decent. And the overall shoulder pad is this gunmetal also. It does not have a shoulder pad here on this side. For the loincloth, it's brown. We have some strands here and down, hanging down. Some silver there on the front. Silver thigh, our gunmetal got like thigh pads there, panels. And then the front knee pads that look like it's all one part of his shin guards into his shoes, some sandals, boots, whatever you want to call them. Then we have the actual horns or spikes sticking out of this on his ankle, and then on the back of his heel, right there on both sides of the feet. But there's a brown wrap there around the back of the ankle. And then we have a skin tone with the metal claw pieces on the front. So it almost like a sandal, for what it's worth. Bottom of his feet. This kind of sticks up a little bit. Maybe this needs to be repositioned, pulled down or something. I think I'm feeling a mix of stiffness versus movability so far. But what we want to check out overall is the aesthetics of this guy right now. So here's the top of his helmet. So let's get a good look at him for you guys if you decide you want to buy this. Here is one of his plasma cannons. The beads. There's that claw piece. Actually quite long. It retracts. Here on the front of his chest. That blue piece right there. It's like some kind of cylinder, maybe medicine or acid, who knows. I tried watching that Requiem movie, but it was too dark to watch, so I tried it a couple times and just tried to like sit through it just to see what I could see, but man, it's tough just to sit down and watch a movie that's pretty much just black. The back piece. Oh, we have the straps here. It holds on the thigh pad. They're done in brown. The back of him. The strands of this PVC. And he has a very unique skin tone as the last part we're going to take a look at here. There's this ankle and the back of the heel spikes. Shoes. So his skin tone's pretty interesting. We have the very dull yellow. Then we have these black splashes of details. There may be some very flat black, but here on the side, but there's like a more darker black on the spots. And then we have, if you can see here, these little spikes on his calf muscles. Actually, they're 3D. You can feel those. A lot of detail right there. I mean, that's pretty cool. And there's like he has a netting on his upper body here, the black netting. And the hands are interesting color. And back at the arm, it looks like a brown there on the elbow. And we have this little silver piece here. Pretty cool. So for articulation, I very well experienced with these guys, and it's pretty much the same. But if you're interested, the head is on a ball joint. Mine is stuck. These do raise up and down. There's articulation right there on a plasma canyon armature, and then you got just above it, you got the swivel of the canyon itself, so you can pull them back, pull them forward, however you see fit. They are both the same. Well, looks like that one's stuck. Oh, that moves a little tighter, you know, used to seeing. So I have to heat those up. Ball jointed shoulders. They do rotate 360 if you can get them. It will let me raise the arm. You gotta be very careful. These things crack easy. It's a hard plastic, so that's about how far they can get that one. So this is probably the range you're gonna get with both arms. Well, maybe not, because this one doesn't have that shoulder pad. So there you go for that. Bicep swivels there, the cuts there. Neither side is letting me move it. Elbow. So you're gonna get a little better than 90 degrees on that. The hands are just pegged in, so you get 360. It's a little ball joint, I guess, too. They move in and out, up and down, very small. There's chest cut here. It is movable to a degree. Maybe need heated. There's a 360 rotation at the waist. It's very stiff. There's a thigh cut. We can get that. Splits are, that's enough I'm comfortable with. These are my figures. I paid for them and I can't break them. They're not given to me. I earn my money and buy my collectibles. That's like you guys. I'm one of you guys. Here's a look at the joints that they use for the knees. And it's letting me move it. Very, very careful. That's about it for that one. So it looks to be, it's a double joint knee because you have up here and down here. But I cannot get the top one to work very well. I gotta heat that piece up right in there. Feet do move from experience. A little bit stuck. They do rotate 360 up and down. Maybe a rocker. A little bit. But I'm going to have to heat them up and when I'm ready to do what I do with my figures, I guess, for my world. Then we have this little hook here to hang something on. That's pretty decent. So that's what I expected to see outside of the box, I guess. And yeah, so no surprises there from all my Hot Toy Predator figures. I do buy them because they're 1/18 scale, and I'm a 1/18 scale collector. And then where else can you get 1/18 scale Predators for your world? Especially if you like to do crossovers. So there you go. Okay, for weapons, he has this open throwing. We're used to seeing in the movies. It's like this, say, silver black wash on it. Very highly detailed, very small. Pretty decent plastic. It's not very soft like we're used to seeing with Hasbro stuff. And you might be able to get him to hold that, but I'm not sure how hard the hands are. Yeah, those are pretty hard. Those are also going to have to be heated. And then we have a rolled up whip. This is pretty nice. Check out that handle. Pretty cool. Brown. Silver dry and silver whip, and everything else is just like the black wash over it. And it looks pretty devastating because you can actually pick up, the filling of each little piece of the whip. So definitely tear some flesh. I'm guessing this is what this hook is for. At some point on this thing here, I see it was the thinnest piece, maybe right there. And then I guess you can hook it however you want. That's how that looks. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, we do not get an unraveled whip. That would have been really cool if we did. Next up, we get this spear. It's open. Sometimes you get a one that's closed and open. This is the open version. Silver throughout the shafts with the black dry brushing, and then we have some, it was like metallic brown on the wrap there. Still a nice sculpt though. Especially in here, you can see through this piece. It's pretty cool. And I'm sure he might hold that. I'll just be careful with the diameter of that piece there. He has two alternate hands that you may be able to utilize for your accessories for posability once you get your figure in working order. Look at this thing. Okay, this is an open hand. There's that silver rings. That's a really highly detailed open hand there. Look at that thing. You guys see that? Pretty cool. I like the skin tone on the hand also. That's pretty nice. It's like a green almost. Here's the other hand. It's so small, hard to hold on to. Definitely. Very hard. Oh, that's it. Okay, one more time. The color pattern is the first thing I was trying to point out how cool that is. That's it. Alright, enough of that. Here we go with the stands are really nice. Graded floor. Weathered brownish with black plastic with the silver grates painted and a little peg there. So you can actually take all these that you get from all your Hot Toy figures, and you can use these little H or I brackets, whatever you want to call them, and you can grab these, stick them here, have you see fit. Either there and two there. You get two for every one, so one up here if you want. So you can put them up here, put them on the side, all around, and display your figures however you like to in your collection. Alright, so final thoughts on this guy. He's $19.99. You can pretty much get him anywhere, I think, now. I love this I recommend him to a adult collector that uses general play or display. So I don't recommend them for anybody else. Of course, you can do what you want, but they're probably not going to last if you don't take good care of them and be very careful when manipulating the joints. It's pretty nice. I got myself into them and I just wanted to finish them out. Now I have me a really nice collection. I want to one day get them all together and do a massive video just to show you guys my collection. That might be some time now because I have very limited space for displaying at this point. I'm working on trying to get more space, so it may be a little bit before I can do that. Hope you guys enjoyed this review and the information. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to, check out the movie In Darkness. We'll see you in our next review.